So we both saw A Star Is Born yesterday.
Yeah. So many feelings.
Yeah,
so many
a lot of feelings. What did you think?
So I think I think we both saw the trailer together, and we are just kind of like, what are we watching here?
Yeah, I mean, when she's like, I'm on the deep end, watch as I dive in. Like, like, Lady Gaga has recently been giving me, like, full Elvis since throughout the Joanne era. And, like, yeah, I don't know.
Is that, like, totally, like, not her style?
No, I think it truly is. And so, like, I'm glad that she's living her life and creating the music that she wants to listen to.
Right.
But it's that jarring thing of, like, it's not, like, what got the gay community excited about her in the first place. And so, like, I'm happy that she's doing her music. There are other fans that are just like, she should only do the music that, like, we want. But I mean, for me, I'm just like, if she wants to do this music, let her do this music. Like,
and that movie was kind of like about that, right?
Absolutely.
How, like, and that even touched upon her origins in, like, I guess, like, well, it shows kind of like her starting out in, like, a drag queen kind of like bar. And she was like doing these kind of like burlesque type of acts and stuff like that. And I think that was kind of like her experiencing it coming up in New York. So yeah, the movie was interesting in that it was a good look into, like, kind of like Lady Gaga and, like, how her experiences were like in the music industry, like how being told that she wasn't pretty enough or she wasn't good looking enough or whatever to be in this music industry. But to me, I kind of like, from the trailer, it was just kind of like, I felt like I knew what it was going to be. And then I was like, I don't really, that doesn't really interest me that much.
We also knew it was going to be, because this is the fourth Star Is Born.
Right.
So,
yeah. I didn't realize it was remade that many times. I was like,
like, I mean, because it was originally supposed to be Beyonce, which, I mean, like, I will follow Beyonce to the ends of the earth. But I mean, like, I'm actually glad they got Lady Gaga to do it, because I think Lady Gaga is a good actor. You know? But yeah, I guess, sorry, I cut you off about, like, you know, like, what, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, when I was watching it, like, the fourth time, it's just kind of like, does this movie really need to be made a fourth time? And if it is being remade a fourth time, I feel like it should be saying something new.
Yes.
It should be saying something fresh or something like that. Yeah. And there were so many moments in this movie where you thought they were going to say something poignant about some specific topic, and it was like, wait, we're just, like, tossing that aside.
Yes.
And there were, like, these, like, interesting ideas. I'm not going to spoil it, but, like, basically, like, you know, is kind of like, we were getting into it. We were getting into these scenes that were very dramatic, and it's just kind of like, oh, the next scene is like, oh, we're over it.
Because I mean, like, I think it was so rife to talk about, you know, like, because Lady Gaga was so steeped in that role, it could have been like, great, let's talk about the consequences of fame. Let's talk about, you know, like, changing who you are to, like, fit within the industry. Let's talk about, you know, dating someone else that's in the same industry as you and, like, seeing each other rise and fall, you know, like, and nothing of that was really addressed, strangely enough. It was
just kind of like, that is the more... When like last night when you were talking to me about Lady Gaga's actual story, I was like, that was more fascinating than what we saw.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, what? I feel like they were too tied maybe to the source material, or maybe like the parameters of which they, like,
maybe
of the script or whatever. But I just felt like there was so many missed opportunities, and that was kind of like a little bit of the disappointing part of the movie, and also kind of like, I felt like it was overhyped to me, because, like, you know, after it came out in Toronto, I just heard all this hoopla. I was like
10-minute standing ovation. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I think Bradley Cooper is magic in it. I think Lady Gaga is very talented, although I did see an SNL writer say, like, something like I forget what it was, but it was about, like, Lady Gaga's fillers. And, like, I mean, like, I love Lady Gaga. We didn't even say this before, but I love Lady Gaga, but, like, I miss the moment where, like, people's foreheads and cheeks, like, moved during things, and, like, it's I don't know. That's more a comment on, like, the standards of beauty that we put on women, and, like, what we force them to do to make them acceptable, and, like, it's really unfortunate. But I think that she was so great in it. But I just wish that, I think it was, for me, it was like, maybe the hype was too great, but I feel like it was kind of a missed opportunity to address those really kind of exciting things that I think we don't look at as much in the music industry.
Right. And so you were kind of talking about this earlier, about like how it's similar to that Sandra Bullock movie in terms of like,
The Blind Side. I mean, I think, sometimes I think that the Hollywood machine like gets there are some years that they just tell us that this is the movie that we are going to be, we're going to be crowning, as the movie. And so, I mean, I think that
it's almost scary in terms of like how much power and control over like they have over what we should and shouldn't like how much even taste making control they have in terms of like,
But I think it's, I think this movie is not that necessarily like is what this country needs right now, but I think it's a movie that everyone, no matter who you are, can just like agree on. Like, I can sit down and just like watch this for 2.5 hours, however long, because it's very long.
Yeah.
But like you can just watch this movie and just like you're not going to disagree with anybody on either side of the political spectrum, on either side of like race, sexuality, class. Like we're all going to basically feel the same way after watching this movie, and I think that's kind of like what The Blind Side was supposed to make you feel like. And I think that that's kind of the same road that they're going down. That it's just like, just watch Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper and just like sit and watch their chemistry for 2 hours and sit and watch, and like listen to them sing, and we'll watch a million scenes of them cuddling, and then like feel a little sad at the end. And like, that's it. And like, you know what? Like, I understand that.
It works on like a very visceral level. It works like, I teared up during certain scenes.
Yeah, I did not. I'm dead inside. I was just like, okay, but can we get to the plot? Like,
right. But it did feel long for sure. When the first act, I was just kind of like, oh man, this is gonna be a long one.
I mean, like that beginning, I did get chills when like Lady Gaga is singing. This is spoiler alert, so if really kind of like if you haven't watched it, then whatever. Like, sorry about it. But like when she's like there's the beginning montage where like you see Bradley Cooper, they establish him, and then they establish Lady Gaga immediately, and she's walking and she takes out the trash, and she's like walking through like this trash dumpster chute, and she's singing a Judy Garland song, who is the original Star Is Born, and like that was to me like chill. Like that was like, okay. Like,
wait, did you watch the other?
I didn't.
Star Is Born. Oh, okay.
I do want to.
I see.
Like now, I do want to go back and watch them, but I mean, I don't know. Like I think what would have been exciting, even if Beyonce wouldn't have been like as dynamic as Lady Gaga, like, I mean, unless she would have brought, like, what is that movie that Beyonce was in with Ali Larter?
I only remember the Austin Powers 3.
Oh yeah, not that. But I mean, like, I think that like it would have at least said something about race, and like, and that would have been something that I could have latched onto, because I think like the fourth time of just being like, you're ignoring like, like, I think they did a pretty good job of like socioeconomic status, but I think that you're ignoring like what it means to be a person of color in the industry, what it means to, like, not that you have to tell that story every time, but that we haven't heard that story yet. And so like, I would love to hear and see that.
Do you think like, when do you think they're going to remake the movie and have like an Asian American character in it?
I mean, like, never. Like, who are the Asian American like musician? Like maybe Bruno Mars. Like Bruno Mars is like as the Bradley Cooper character. Like, but I mean, like, who is and maybe even Bruno Mars writing the music, not necessarily even like starring in it. Like it would be some, I don't know, like Daniel Dae Kim or John Cho. I feel like is too like nice looking. Like you need that like rough, rugged, like the man. And like Daniel Dae Kim is a man, but I mean, like in 20 years, I don't know. Like we don't have like
a musician on the right, or like an Asian American musician, like a very like undeniably talented Asian American. Like who's it? Like a,
I mean, we have them, they exist, but like, are they supported by the machine?
Right.
Is the question, like there are tons of Asian American, like musicians like on the come up and already like just killing it, but like, are they given the support of an Ariana Grande, of, like any XYZ, Iggy Azalea, like they're not. So like they're they're relegated to, you know, like this kind of like indie like purgatory.